There we go. And we're live. Cool, just getting set up here. If you're watching this in the future, we do this Q&A every 2 weeks. So today is, what is today? Wrong button. The 29th. So the next one will be, it looks like the 13th of July. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to catch us live, the 13th, mark it in your calendar. Let me just ping our Discord community. See who we can get joining in. But yeah, we're excited. Like I said, it's a Q&A. So we just answer any questions, any bugs that you may be hitting. Yeah, our staff will be in chat. Here, I can pull this over. So if you have any questions, we're here in real time to answer them. Let's see. Allow for the Q&A. I almost forgot what we're doing. Let me grab the link. Video camera's right in the way. Is why I did the head bob. I'm not training to be a boxer or anything. All right. Make sure this is the right link. Yep. User content should be good. Nice. Maybe I can make it as a boxer after streaming for long enough with this camera right here. Practice my head bobs. Cool. So that's our Discord. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want to get pinged whenever I go live, the link for Discord is in the description of this video. So go and join it. Come and hang out with us. Cool. So I think we're good. Hope everyone's doing well today. Excited to be live streaming. Good afternoon, Captain Morgan. Good to see you. Yeah, we're working on some cool stuff this week. Nothing I can share. I don't think our what's new docs have been updated in a little bit. But working on some cool stuff. We're all super excited on the team. And we're getting bigger. We're getting bigger as a team. And so it's pretty cool to see. What else is top of mind? Had a bunch of people sign up last week. That's pretty cool. We're excited about that. I think that's it for the most part. I hope you're all doing well. Happy and healthy wherever you're at. Nice and sunny here, 85 degrees. I still don't have a tan. It's halfway through summer and I'm not tan. I guess that's my own fault. But yeah, doing well here. I hope you all are too. Team growth, that's awesome. Yeah, we're excited. A couple new people joining. And some exciting new roles. I think we have a new back-end engineer starting soon. In another role that probably shouldn't say, so I won't, but we're very excited about what that person will be doing as well. I don't know how secretive I need to be. Probably not very, but yeah, we're super excited. New people joining the team is always a good thing. More help, make a better product. I just shared with a friend, he loves the system. Oh, very cool. Thank you for sharing. That's like the surveys that companies put out, like how likely are you to recommend to a friend? I guess very likely. We appreciate it. And thank you. Yeah, we'll give it a few minutes, let people jump in if they want to. Usually start at about 5 after or so. Yeah, looking forward to see what you guys are working on. Hear about your experience. how the platform's acting for you. Always trying to make it better and better. So, yeah, we're all super excited. Let's see. I'll jump into a little demo just in case anyone that's never seen the platform watches this video. Mm. What is today? 29th? Almost July. Crazy. The time's going by too fast. I feel like I'm getting old. I'm learning the function calls. I sometimes think WayScript is programming me. Ah, very good. Yeah, it's super strong. And like once you learn, function calls anywhere, you can pretty much translate them uh, across any language, as far as I'm aware. I guess in a few they act a little differently, but for the most part, yeah, super powerful. Use them everywhere you go. Yeah, the WayScript ones are pretty cool. All right, I'll kick it off here. Looks like we might have a few people join in a little bit later. But so mainly for the YouTube audience, in case you're watching this in the future, if you've never heard of WayScript and have no idea what it does, we take a lot of the pain points out of programming. So let's say that we want to create some simple script that we want to run on a daily basis. We can use the trigger system on WayScript to automatically execute whatever we want. In this case, what we're focusing on is a code step. So we'll use a Python module. And just a few clicks, we can set this up. We'll give it a second to initialize here. We got it loaded. And now, let me make sure I'm not blocking anything. Nope, we're good. I can click on this code view, and I can start coding just like that. So I think that was about 30 seconds, maybe. And we can either copy and paste our code in, or we can just bring it in to the WayScript file system and run it from here. So doing anything simple, we'll send a simple request, and then we'll print that out. Cool. So you see here that I'm using an external library, and we can use all those just like how we can on our local machine. We get back a log here, which I see that I'm blocking, so I'll move my face cam. And this is the result from our Python code here. Now we can set this up to run every day, whatever code we want, and choose the settings and turn it on. So the idea here is that we handle all the infrastructure, and you can just build really cool applications in a fraction of the time that you could do it on your local machine. So that's a brief overview. There's a ton of different features that we're building out, such as deployed environments. I can share the script with whoever I want. So if I want to make it public, I can do that and share it with everyone. But pretty cool. A lot more that we could talk about. But that's the 30-second high-level overview, my elevator pitch. And yeah, if there's any specific questions, I'm happy to dive into them. We can talk about anything y'all want. That's my best one yet. I don't think I stuttered too many times. Practice. There's a stutter. Practice. 6 months of doing the same pitch. Might get pretty good at it. But yeah, so if there's no questions here, I think I'll just build out a few examples. We can take a look at our marketplace first, see what's going on with it. So if you're unfamiliar, we have this marketplace where all public scripts, such as that script that I just made, will get shared to here. So if you're working on a project, let's say I want to do something with a database and I'm looking for TinyDB, I can just come into the community and find something that works for me. And then I can just clone this to my account and start working with it there. Dang, that's crazy. Let me move myself back over. Let me zoom in too. If I can. There we go. Nice, a little bit more visible. 8,566 clones of this program. That's very cool. Yeah, so a bunch of new users signed up to the platform. I don't know what the accurate numbers are of late, but this is cool. Um, our top clone program was sitting around 100 for a long time. And then now the top clone program has 8,560. So pretty good, pretty good. I don't have a confetti emoji. Oh, you're looking at the guessing script. Yeah, yeah. It'd be cool to see analytics of like the popularity of a script, like maybe a little like a flame symbol or like a little fire emoji or like a graph of overtime clones would be cool to see how it's like done over history. I'm writing that down so I don't forget. But yeah, very cool. Very cool. Um, so nothing too new. I'm just surprised at the number. So I guess what we'll do is I will just build out a few examples. Oh, there's my Nintendo Switch Hunter. I haven't viewed this in a long time. I might take a look. Don't know if I have any keys. I'm probably not important anymore if I... Oh no. I guess I never finished that project. Alright, oh well. We'll build on this one. So, what I was working on last week was AWS Lambda function calls. So I can build out an example of that if no one has any questions. I'll wait a few seconds to see if anyone does. But if not, we'll go down the AWS DevOps route here. See what we can make. I wasn't too familiar with Lambda functions before last week, but pretty cool, pretty cool. Definitely useful. Definitely useful. Last week that guessing script number was at 2K. Yeah, yeah. It's insane how many people signed up from that. I mean, very cool. Hopefully the first of many scripts that just kind of take off like that. It's cool that a content creator brought so many people to the website like that. So definitely something that we're kind of keeping an eye on. And pretty neat to see it. see the pockets of the community kind of expand. Got a bunch of gamers on the platform now, which is pretty cool. In 2 weeks, you've gotten over 4K new viewers. Yeah. Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? What is Lambda? So Lambda is kind of similar to what WayScript offers, but not entirely the same. Um, so the idea with Lambda, AWS Lambda, anyways, is that you can just execute Python code without setting up infrastructure. So sounds kind of similar to what we do, but their main points are you don't you can pay per execution of scripts without paying for like the instance to stay up all the time and like um, balancing loads and everything. They kind of take care of everything for you, and then you just pay to run the code pretty much. But I can pull it up. We can take a look at one. Let me open up my console here. Yeah, pretty cool. It's something that I was totally unfamiliar with. I have to try to find a good capacha to get into my AWS account here because it seems like every single one is too smart for me to figure out. Sorry, I'm max focused trying to figure out this capacha. That's 4 in a row. There has to be a better way. There we go. 5 attempts. Definitely not my best, but cool. Opening that up. Yeah, so I think I can show this. I don't believe there's going to be anything like leaking a key or anything here. So I'll just pull this over. Um, so this is my AWS console um, Lambda dashboard. And kind of the same way as WayScript, we can write a function. This one's in Python. And I thought we could view it. Maybe this one doesn't have anything. I believe it should pop up here. There we go. Oh, that's cool. It opens up in a tab. Yeah, so essentially we can write our Python code here and then invoke it using Boto theory. So we can call it to run. Don't have to worry about like an instance or anything, and just execute our code. Works pretty nice for WayScript because we have a lot more control, in my opinion, using WayScript. So we could definitely, write all those cases out in our function, or we could just handle them all in like a hub for tooling. And maybe I'm biased a little bit, but um, yeah. So pretty cool if you want to incorporate those with a bunch of different triggers and um, other code modules. But yeah, pretty neat. It was a cool learning experience for me. Gonna be a DevOps pro before long. Just kidding. It seems like a lot. It might take a while. WayScript's action for these patches. Man, they're tough. They kick my butt. And it seems like AWS always has the toughest ones. Or maybe I'm just complaining too much, but I don't you had to be almost superhuman to solve it on the first time. I don't think I've ever solved one on the first go. I usually always have to like refresh and try to find an easy one. But they're tough. They're tough. So you can write a code in Amazon and pull data from this thing, from say WayScript. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So my function here is just pretty basic, just one of their demo functions, and using that. Let me see if I already have it. Pulled up here. I believe I do. I just had to find it. Need to clean up my file system. Yeah, here we go. So maybe I don't. Where did I build it? Let me search. Here we go. I guess I built it on my own account. I'll need to move it over. So I think this is going to have a key in it, but it's already deleted, so no big deal. No, it doesn't. Okay, cool. I went back and fixed it. So using that Boto3 library, I'm just building a client for it and then accessing Lambda resources. And I can call that function by its name, which is pretty cool. Definitely pretty powerful. This specific example was like, if I have a bunch of functions built on Lambda and I want to incorporate them with my WayScript workflows, such as like a Datadog trigger, I can just do all of that here. So makes it easy. I don't have to worry about OAuthing all these different services on a bunch of different platforms. I can just build it all right here and have a little hub for all my tools. So pretty cool. A lot of people already using AWS, so very easy to use those functions. Was the idea behind the video. Yeah, so pretty cool. Yeah, been using that Boto3 library a bunch recently. A lot to it. A lot to it. So I don't think I'll ever be a DevOps pro. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. But seems like a very challenging profession. And to get good at it, you probably need a decade of experience. But maybe someday. So hopefully that answers your question. If and there's anything more specific, happy to dive into it. I guess we can just play around with this Boto3 library since we're already here. Pulling up the documentation. I'm trying to find it. Sorry. Lambda client. Yeah, so a bunch of cool stuff. Hardest part for me was well, I guess there wasn't really too much difficult. Pretty straightforward. A bunch of different exceptions. This is such a nicely written library here. Pretty cool. So, question. What's on your mind? No, I've been thinking about um they just put a Chipotle in like 5 minutes away from where I live. The closest one before that was 45 minutes away. So I'm ecstatic, and that's what's been on my mind today. It opened up today. That's why I'm thinking about it. I think I can know the answer with a little thought. I want more info on TinyDB. I also have a question about sublist. Sure. More info on TinyDB. I can pull that script up. Yeah, I'm no pro, but I know a little bit about it. Worked with it a couple times. I can pull up the GitHub for it too, just in case. Excuse me. But yeah, totally excited about that chicken bowl. Oh, I need to know of some ideas for data retrieval. Yeah, so pulling data out of the TinyDB. Or is there like a specific example that you have in mind? Let me clone this. We'll get um, we'll get one working here so we can play around with it. Template 4. I guess I've cloned it quite a few times. Um, I need to know of some ideas for data retrieval. Say you had 5 rows of data. Each row had 6 columns. Okay. I will need the cell row 2, column 4 as the example. Yeah, so pull out a specific entry. Hmm. I believe they... Let's open this up. That's kind of strange. I have 2 Python steps that are referring to the single Python code module, and they both highlight on click. That's okay. We'll just pretend like we have one. So we have a DB, and let's insert. So you said we have a bunch of 5 rows, and they have multiple columns. So let's insert a couple more rows in this one. So we have type, count. Let's do size. I guess 3 will probably be enough. So let's run this. Unexpected indent. I guess I need to fix my template. Okay, so there's 1 row. Now let's change this to peach. We'll do 6 and then small. Okay, so this will give us 2 rows. So let's pull out, like how you're saying, let's pull out a specific one. Let's pull out the count of the second row. I'm not currently aware how to do this by position. I do know how to do it from keys. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not even sure if TinyDB stores positions. It may just write it all and not store the position, which would be an issue. I don't know if it keeps. Oh, no, it does. Yeah, it keeps position of the right. So I guess that's how you would do it. So it does keep position of the row. I was thinking that um, I would do it by key is I would just have my query and then I would do db search fruit dot type equals peach, and then you can use it but then you couldn't get the count. Yeah. Yeah, let's do it by row. Let me figure it out real quick. It can't be too hard. And as an example, and if you can tie it in with Boto 3, that would be ninja of you, right? Do it as a lambda function and then call it. Let's see. Let's see if we can query by row. Unsure if we can. I mean, I guess we could just kind of, we know it's a JSON. So if we were set on using it, we probably wouldn't have to call their methods if we didn't want to. That's the first thing that comes to mind. I'm not sure if they have a positional method. I think it's probably all key based. But you could get around it. I'm trying to see if they have it in the documentation here. Yeah, let's just play around with this JSON. So how I would do it without knowing, they probably have a better way to do this. So looks like default, and then we can get. So let's read this JSON. All right, so I'm going to read that file in. Let me just comment out all of this. So path to file will just be the file name. In this case, it's db.json. And then we're calling data by loading that in. Then I believe we can just say data dot get, and then we'll get the first underscore default. So we have underscore default. And then if we wanted to get the second row, we could say get and then 2. From there, if we wanted to get the second one, which was our count, I think we can just say count. We'll call this A, and then let's print this. Let's see if it works. If not, we'll have to make sure that there's no method to do it. I'm not sure if we can do it positionally, but maybe we can. Yeah. So that worked. That's kind of that's probably not the way that they would intend for you to use it, but I guess it works. Um, so it would be like an API call. So you want to host. Um, so you want to host the database, then make a call to it for to search a certain position. Is that right, or something different? Well, because I plan to build out some things. Yeah, yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense because you wouldn't want to come in here and manually have to pull out a certain query. Um, yeah, we can host it. Let's do let's do that. It's just a file in the file system, so it should be no problem. Um, we'll do a form trigger, and I guess well, let's not do a form trigger. If you're wanting to do an API call to it, then we'll just use an HTTP trigger, um, and we'll make this return JSON. So we'll come over here, make this as JSON, and then let's do a query parameter on this one. Um, I forget. Oh yeah, it's in the default values. All right. Um, query parameters. Here we go. So let's say row, and we'll put default of 0, and then we'll do um, column. We'll make it a string. I think that should work. Um, yeah, so we'll take in a row and then a column, and then yeah, there we go. And we can query our database using that. If this is what you mean, let me make sure before I go into this. Well, because I plan to build out some things where storage and retrieval is necessary, and I was hoping not to go a full DB if I didn't have to. So I see you did it. Yeah, yeah. Um, if you want to make it like more programmatic, um, where you don't have to like manually type these in, the idea here is that we can just send a request to this. Let me go ahead and do that. That way we can get these variables populated. Or I guess we don't need them populated. We already know what they are. Um, default value, so we have row and column. So in our Python code, what I'll do to make this a little bit more programmatic, I'll say row is equal to that variable we get from the request, and then column will be the same thing. So column, and then this time what we'll do is instead we'll come down here and we'll say get row and then get column. So these will come from the request, and we'll just pull that information out from the DB. So now, oh, actually, just one more thing. Excuse me. What we'll need to do is to write that back. So we'll say variables, A will be equal to that value. Cool. All right. Now we just need to, well, actually, that's just a single value. So we should probably make it look more like a response. So result. There we go. So this should give us some, okay, yeah, it doesn't know what row is, but it should work. So now let's go ahead and call this real quick. We'll copy this. I will send it. So we had row equals 2 and column equals, what was your column called? Let's do count. Cool. Okay. Did I not set this up successfully? Query parameters row equals 0, column equals. Let me make sure that I'm getting these query parameters okay. Let's send this again. I feel like they pop up for a second. Oh, no, just kidding. Oh, here we go. So we have our request data. So I guess it needs to be a little bit different. Sorry about that. So in our Python code, we'll actually need to say row equals variables dot get. We'll pull out request, and then dot get row. Oh, actually, we need to get query params, and then we need to get row. All right, so that's one of these, and then we'll do the same thing with the column. So column, and this should work. And famous last words, right? Let's run this. None type attribute has, what's the problem? None type attribute. In line 10. Get row. None type. Did you not find the file? Sorry. What happened? On line 10. All right, so data, which is loading our DB. So is there anything in our DB? Yep, there is. So our DB is good. And then we're saying load that JSON, our data, get default. Oh, get row, get column. Variables dot get request, get query params, get row, and then column. Oh, a column isn't populating. Let's try this again. Sorry, debugging. Impossible to live code without a few mistakes, right? Let's try this again. Do not know why this doesn't save my query parameters. Oh, there we go. That time it ran. Not sure what happened there. Cool. So let me catch up. So for example, I'm in the process of building a client database. I mean, it's not a real data, but I want it to be a web interface for myself. Actually, watching you debug has helped me tremendously too. Oh, well, good, good. I'm glad it's helpful. Yeah, I feel like that's half of coding, right? Is going to Google and figuring it out. Um, okay, cool. So I'm not sure why my query parameter wasn't working, but now it seems that it is. So to catch up here, what I've done is on this URL, kind of small. I don't think there's a way for me to increase the size of this on the address bar, but I'm passing those query parameters to this endpoint, and then I'm pulling them out here in this code from this query parameter variable, and then I'm using them to query the DB. So I'm querying them here, and now my result, A, should be a value, which it is not. So let's run this again. 7. Okay, so now my result, A, up here, is queried from the database using that URL, and I can pass it back as a JSON response. A. So let's see if this works. Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like it should be working here. I think it's having a hard time with something, but I'm not sure what is the problem. So it looks like our code ran. We're getting A as 7 here, but we're not assigning it to this new variable, it seems. So let's go down here to this, and we'll sync this. Now A equals 7. This is a struct. So I believe we can just set this as A. Now I think we should be good here. Yeah, okay. So check this out. So I don't know what the problem is or why it took so long, but we got it working. So if you want to make an API request, hopefully this only changed the size of that one window. It did. So what I've done is to talk through all of this, because I know there was a few parts where I was trying to figure out what was going on. So the goal, what I was trying to do anyways, is I wanted to create an endpoint right here that I could query the database with. using query parameters, and I can set those using default values up here. So I'm setting row and column in query parameters, and then I can use those in my Python code to query the DB. I load the DB in, and then I query the specific information I want using it, and then I write that result as a new variable, which is just A right here. Using that variable, I return it as a JSON response as A right here. So now, going all the way back, here's my page, and let's say instead of row here, let's get, or not row, let's leave it as row, and let's get the first item instead. So we'll pass a query parameter. This says row equals 1 and column equals count. I know it's kind of hard to see. I wish I could make it bigger, but I don't think I can. So now we'll run this, and we should get back a different result from our DB, which we don't. Maybe it's the same. Let's say row equals 3. There we go. So it was the same. So that's how I would do it programmatically if I wanted to make it like an API. Pretty cool. Build out an API, connect it with a database, and host it live in maybe 20 minutes, maybe a little bit less. It took me a little bit longer on this one because of those bugs, but kind of neat, right? Build out a fully functioning API connected to a database backed by Python and hosted on a URL for free too, if you're in the free tier. So pretty cool. So it was out of sync. Yeah, I think that's probably what it was. Probably what it was. And we could do the same thing if you wanted to put like, if you wanted to include or like make post requests to your API, you could do the same thing with this trigger too. So you can make a post request to it for adding new things to your database and just kind of have it all running like that. And we'll handle it too. I'm unable to speak too much for TinyDB, but well, I don't know. I don't think you'd run into some database locks, but it definitely isn't the best if you want to make sure that every entry is perfectly kept. Because a bunch of functions or a bunch of different programs writing to the same file on your account might not work out too well. So yeah, that would be my only hesitation. Let's see. It doesn't really have to be an API, but it does help for other parts going for another project I want. This is great. Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad it's helpful. It's fun to play with for sure. I think I can change the column. I think I included a type column on that row 3 too. Type? Does that work? But yeah, whatever's in the database, we can query. Peach. Get back an API response. Let's see. Can you talk about what technologies you use on the front end and back end and anywhere in between? Programming languages, etc. I don't know if I can, but we use a little bit. We use a lot of different things. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I can't go into specifics or anything, but we use Python and JavaScript uh, mainly. Those are our two main ones. And yeah, I don't know how much I can say. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know if it's a non-disclosure agreement thing in my contract or not. But yeah, I think Python and JavaScript is probably a good answer. Obviously JavaScript centric on the front end and Python on the back end. Um, and then a mixture of other things too. Like other different calls that we're making. Um, I do need to learn APIs better. Hey, we've that's the bread and butter of WayScript, so they're definitely helpful. And that's what we definitely invest a lot of time into APIs, and every module we have is a utilization of someone else's API. But very powerful. And also, I wish when I was, because I'm self-taught when it comes to programming, I wish someone would have showed this example to me when I was learning an API in this exact format, pretty much too, because uh, when you're just learning APIs, it seems like it's such a weird concept, right? Um, I remember watching some popular YouTube video where it was like they were describing it as a waiter, and like the waiter was carrying food from the kitchen to the customer, and that's what an API was. And I was beyond confused for probably a little while. But I feel like an example on WayScript makes a lot of sense, um, because you can break it down into pieces really in this format, because it's just a place that we send a request to. That request has something happen with somebody's backend. So in this case, our backend is Python, and then a response. So this is the example I wish I had. We could definitely clean it up, make it a little bit nicer. But yeah, nothing to be too worried about. It'll come quick. Um, let's see. So the DB has to be simple for now. It would be possible to import TinyDB to say my MySQL later, should I need to. Yeah, yeah, it should be fun. Um, yeah, moving data is only a problem really if it's a bunch of data, right? If you're using a tiny DB project and you don't have that much, then moving it, in my experience, is not that big of a deal. However, once it gets, you have a bunch of connections and stuff going to it, then it becomes a challenge. In this case, I wouldn't think so. I mean, it's just a JSON file, and you could write a Python script to do this pretty easy. Uh, it'd probably take 10 minutes or so, I would think. How I would do it is probably just, I would just write a little pandas script using Python, and make it into a data frame, and then write that data frame to an SQL DB. Pandas to SQL. Depending on the data frame, it looks like you can do it. Or depending on the SQL database, you can do it. Yeah, so that would just look something like, um, we'll keep it commented out. That way the script keeps on working. We'll import pandas as PD, and then data frame will just be um, PD dot data frame, where or data is equal to Sorry about that. Yeah, it's probably really loud too. As soon as I plugged it in, I'm sorry. Apologies, apologies. I'm not sure why my sound system keeps on doing that. I was probably talking for like 2 minutes too before I noticed. I apologize. Um, hopefully there be sound. Yay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. And sorry about the pop too. I'm sure that was loud. Hopefully YouTube managed to not blow out anyone's speakers. But I was rambling on. In short, I think I found a few answers that say there is no inherent limit to the size of the tiny DB. Not sure how long ago I cut out, but this is probably the most intensive operation is opening or reading in the file. So I can't imagine it would be too stressful to read it in. I don't know what the upper limits of like reading in a Python file. Python, JSON, and Python. And you can always optimize it too. Yeah, I guess it just really depends. I don't think it would be an issue if you had just a bunch of data. It looks like this person doing this operation, they've optimized it a little bit on Stack Overflow. I can just pull it over. But it looks like they're saying they got around 28 megabytes per second. So 10 to 20 probably wouldn't be a problem. If you got a lot bigger, I guess you could run the request asynchronously and still just, well, no, then it wouldn't be a good API, would it? You just have to wait, I guess. Be like a second per every 28 megabytes. So, yeah. And you could probably speed it up too. That's just the first answer I have on Stack Overflow. There be sound. LOL. Yep. Okay, good. Sorry about that again. It looks like I'm like super quiet now. I'm afraid to adjust it. I'm not sure. I think my I forget what they're called. Um audio interface is slowly dying on me because it does die on me in meetings too, unfortunately. So I probably need a replacement. But I bought it like 2 years ago. I didn't think it would already be time to buy a new one. But it probably is. This is the one I have currently. And it was pretty good, but I guess not anymore. Uh, I'm going to cross that bridge when I get there. Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. Next upgrade, maybe an SQL DB, which I don't know how fast an SQL DB runs. Let's see. Yeah, there's just so many answers. Um, I guess people spend a lot of time optimizing queries and such. So hard to say. I guess you can always make things run faster, right? Unless you've dumped a bunch of engineering resources into something. Yeah, no good answer. Um, let's see. You know what Derek has to build? An Amazon scraper for audio equipment and then use some sort of natural language processing to make a nice buying decision. Sound is perfect now. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. Um, we do have that super popular template that Jesse made out a long time ago. Um, e-commerce. I actually think it's on the WayScript page. Not sure if it still works or not. Let's see. Oddly enough, this was a very popular video. Yeah, one of our most cloned scripts, number 5 on the site, is using Diff Bot, which is just an API to track a product and see the price decreases over time and just run it daily. So his idea was I guess on Wayfair there's a return policy to where if a product drops in price, you can get your money back. And he built this. So if yeah, if a product drops in price, you get your money back for the difference. And you could pretty much convert this to show me the best time to buy a new one. So I might need to set this up. Might need to set that up. Get a new audio interface. I did doing a lot of home remodeling, so very potentially got some dust in my computer setup and my audio setup, so maybe that's what's going on. I can barely code, yet alone optimize. Oh, it's not so bad. I'm no pro either. I'm definitely no pro. Um, but you know, half of what I do is this, right? Like I have a second window open where I have all this code. People that have had the same problem as you at some point and posted it all. Yeah, I just gotta know enough. Just enough to find the pieces and put them together. But I'm no pro. Um, Copy and paste is my friend. Yeah, absolutely. I would say best friend almost for me. Yeah, I just gotta find something that looks right and then copy and paste it over. Ah, this is getting stranger. I can share this just in case anyone needs it. I'll post it in chat. Um, I think there's only, I think something weird is happening with the step IDs, and we're getting these duplicated Python steps, but I believe it's fine. I think it's just a graphical bug. But yeah, only one Python step here. Let me post this real quick into chat, just in case anyone needed it. Um, is this the right script? Yeah. Yeah, hopefully it shows up on your account with only one Python step. And maybe it's just my account. My account is very overloaded. I've done way too many things on my account. So it could just be me. Um, does variable pills and WayScript help reduce errors? Oh, for sure. Yeah, the variable system is super nice. Um, Super nice. And especially being able to reference them like with code. Super cool. Um, what's the number one template? Number one template. Let's see. The community one we talked about it a little bit earlier is this Geshin impact thing where it auto logs you into the game and you can there's some kind of chest or something, to my understanding, that you get on your account. The and they do that automatically daily. The number one on ours is run Python via webhook. So this is kind of similar to the example that we were just talking about, where we can send a request to a URL and then process some code using it. So it seems like a very popular use case for us to for the basic structure to be, there's some action that activates the script and then the script. And that's kind of where we're targeting a lot of our focus. Is we see a lot of value in like automating people's scripts. We do, the modules are very cool, and I, for one, and I know other members on the team enjoy building them, but code is so powerful, and we're seeing so many people sign up that they bring some code and they just want to automate it, which makes sense. So that's kind of what we want to be the best experience for that use case that we can be right now. And that's what we're trying to do. And definitely sneak in a few modules every now and then. When we can. Let's see. Yeah, they have a Genshin Impact script that's epic. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people must find it epic. I need to clone it. I guess I need to make an account on this game first, and then get my free daily chest. Be a part of the cool community. Um, what's coming down the pipeline? A few things that I can't share. I know there's a couple things that I can share. There's a few modules that are coming out. Not sure if I know something has been developed, but I don't know if it's live yet. It may be live. And I think I talked about it a few weeks ago. We've just been all super focused on a different thing. Where is that script? We'll just open one up. I think I have it. Yeah. I don't know if deployments are live yet for everyone, but this is one thing that's new. Excuse me. This is new. So there's a deployed state and then there's a dev state is what we're working on, if you need it. So if you just want to continue using WayScript the same way it's always been, then auto deployed stays on and you don't ever have to worry about clicking this button. If you need a dev state in a prod state, then that's the solution we tried to build out here. That's probably the newest bit of like big features that we've added. And then with like the new people joining, should be some cool stuff that particularly pertains to me a little bit. So like we'll have new marketing initiatives going out. That's kind of one thing I've been working on. And then how we can kind of serve the community better. So, a couple things. I know there's nothing too exciting that I can share, but we are very hard at work. Um, we have a huge project that we're working on that we're super excited about. So it should be really cool when it comes out. But unfortunately, can't say too much on it. Well, WayScript run Wheezy print deployments are live for me. Okay, yeah. So that's the last big feature we've released. Wheezy print. Um, if it's Python or has an API or I've never heard of it. Let me look it up. Is it is it this? Wheezy print? Um excuse me. Uh web developers to create PDF documents that turn simple HTML pages into gorgeous statistical reports. Yeah. If it's on if there's a Python library like this in PyPy, then yeah, we can we can build out a little example if you want to. Um Wheezy print? Wheezy print. Um we'll do a sample. Um See if they have one. We'll take this. So, looks like they have a Python library. We'll just use a Python module. And I'm going to steal this example. It looks like from their website. So I guess it's kind of just like borrowing. uh, so we'll take this. And when you're using a library that's a little bit like we have most of the huge Python libraries already installed. If it's not one of those, we can just come down here to requirements.txt. Let me make sure I'll zoom in. No, just kidding, I can't. And we can put it in. So Wheezy print, I think is the PyPy name. So now, I think we can just write this as a PDF. And it should just pop up over here in our file system. Um, Deployments are live for me. Are you in the marketing team, Derek? Yeah, so I'm a little bit all over the place. Um, I make a few modules. I get to code a little bit on the backend team. Uh, I kind of wish I was coding more, but uh, yeah, my main thing is the YouTube videos, marketing, and like stuff in that nature. So pretty marketing heavy position for me. Uh, Thank you for this. I love it. I was searching for some solution like this. Hmm. Um, yeah, it might be kind of cool. Let's see if I can find it. Import HTML of this website, write PDF. I think it should have written. Let's see. It looks like we're putting it. Let's not put it in a different directory. Let's put it in the same directory that we're working in. We'll run this. I should get back a PDF here, I believe, if I'm understanding the documentation right. Executed your code. Doesn't look like we wrote anything. Maybe it's not. Hmm. I believe surely we support PDFs. Uh, let's see. Let me work out this example here. If you have the file name, an absolute object. Here, let's just take this. It looks like a little bit more complete of an example. Let's try this one. But yeah, I believe it should work. We're not getting back module import errors or anything, so I believe it should work. If you already know how to use this library better than me, then yeah, you should have no problem. Um, Let me go through and print. Let me make sure that we're getting something back here because we may not be. Um, Print none. Yeah, so we're not getting an HTML, I believe. So let's do this. We'll say HTML, and then we'll do HTML right. So let's make sure that we're pulling this HTML. We'll say print HTML, HTML, HTML object, and then it looks like we're having a hard time writing it. Hmm. I use it on my local machine for auto-generated reports. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, I think it should work. I'm just not familiar with it. So, but yeah, I mean that would be a super cool thing to have your data on here and then create the report and send it to yourself. Let's see what this error is. Um, Permission denied. Hmm. I guess they're denying me. I'm not sure if they're denying me permission to their. Hmm. Let me figure this out because it looks like an error for writing on the file system. So this will be a question I have to ask. Permission error for writing a PDF. I think it's no problem though. Let me Python write PDF. I'm just trying to find some other PDF I can write. Just to make sure. I guess we could just make a file, right? New file, sample.pdf. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know why there's a permission error, but I will have to figure it out. But I believe it is possible to answer your question in a very long-winded way. Yes, I think it is possible. And that's a cool use case too. Um, Connecting a data source and then creating a PDF and then have it all hosted on the cloud and send yourself a report. That's pretty cool. Uh, Sorry, let me catch up. I'm not an expert, but I probably would have an HTML file created first and tell Wheezy to convert it, right? Am I wrong here? No, I think you're right. I think that's how it works, to my understanding. Wheezy print. Yeah, I think so. Read the full documentation. Um, Yeah, visual rendering engine for HTML and CSS. So you can make awesome charts. Um, there's multiple ways, but you give it HTML template or it can convert any website to PDF. However, I see this can be a module. Oh, that's true. That is true. That would be a neat module. Wheezy print. Yeah, so you select a file or you select an HTML. Well, I guess it'd have to be. Well, no, you could just put the CSS pill into an HTML document and then choose file, convert to PDF. We might have that. Let me look. We might have file actions that convert files. Let me look. I broke it. I think it was just having a hard time with that permission error. File actions. Um, hmm. Yeah, that module's having a hard time too. Hmm. Yeah, so maybe we don't have it, but definitely possible. Uh, can you do a Word document in the same way to convert it to a PDF? I'm trying to find the answer. Daniel probably has a better idea than me, but I think it has to be HTML from what I'm reading. But maybe there's a simple library out there that converts Word to HTML. Docx to HTML. Yeah, looks like it exists. Of course, I don't know if this is the preferred way. Excuse me. Preferred way or not. Oh yeah, it looks like there's a bunch of different ways. Looks like Mammoth is a library. Um, I would use. I will play with Wheezy. I would use comtypes.client to do that. Nice. Yeah, I'll have to look into it too. This is awesome. Yeah, I agree. No, it's very cool. I'll have to look into it. Ooh, 5:30. I feel like I run late every time. Um, well, thanks so much for hanging out. I got to get off here. Uh, I don't want to keep any members of the staff hostage, um, making them hang around and answer any questions. So, gotta get off here. But I appreciate you guys jumping in here and hanging out with me. Hopefully the um, the API tutorial was useful a little bit, and we answered some questions. Now I have some cool stuff to look up in Wheezy Print and this permission error and why it's happening, and maybe a module that I can sneak in. But no promises, no promises. I don't know if they'll let me. Just kidding, just kidding. But I do appreciate you guys hanging out. Um, so helpful to me You might want to change your YouTube title. Oh yeah, my mistake. I don't know if I can change it now. It's probably too late. An hour and a half into the stream. So I might say, well, no, I guess I can change it in the studio manager thing. Uh, yeah, that title was way old. May May 18th. I haven't updated it in 6 weeks. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. But all right, I'm gonna jump off here. Thanks so much again for hanging out. I appreciate y'all, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. But until then, I hope you stay happy and healthy wherever you're at, and take it easy. Well, all right. Goodbye.